going to go back and find out that while he was batting, Pat was talking with the president and the prime minister. But he struck out, so we caught you, Dave. You'll get him next time. That's Hindu. And Ken Griffey Jr. up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Low. Now Glavine has struck out the last 3. He's getting with the program here. 1-0 National League. Second inning. We were setting up that camera shot. Pat O'Brien talked about protocol. He said to the president and the prime minister, would you guys mind standing up? You guys.
What's he going to say, y'all?
High in the air to the center fielder, Gwynn. And that's the second out of the inning. American League has 1 hit and a walk and 2 out and nobody on. Gwynn is not usually a center fielder, but he can play out there.
Played 89 games there last year. There's a center fielder for you right there.
Here's Sandy Alomar Jr.
Actually, that was 1989, the last time that Tony Gwynn played 89 games in center field. So 89 and 89.
Kim, did you tell me that Sandy Alomar Sr. flew up from Puerto Rico for the action?
He's here at the game, right? He is now a traveling infield instructor with the Chicago Cub minor league system, but he's here tonight, yes.
1 ball, 1 strike to Sandy. He doesn't really have all-star stats. No home runs, 4 RBIs, hitting .241, but the fans like him, so here he is.
Rookie of the year in the American League last year.
And he got jammed, and he flies it out to Tony Gwynn. Glavine has retired 5 in a row, and after 2, National League 1-0.
A 1, 2, 3, 4.
Ridiculous. I'm an athlete, not an actor.
Let me out of this thing.
I got rehab to do.
Oh.
Give me those shoes.
Oh.
Excuse me.
Nice shoes.
You watch too much TV, kid. Hey! Where's that music coming from? You know I don't have time for this. But I do. Hit it. Just now.
Okay, pour it and say, do I love Diet A&W root beer and cream soda with 100% NutraSweet. And action. No, my right. No, into the glass. Into the glass. What, do you need glasses or are you just stupid?
I've been told both.
It's the taste that made A&W famous.
The driver of this car adds something special to his motor oil. So does the driver of this car. They both use STP oil treatment for drivers on a racetrack or drivers on a fast track. STP.
I want him to have a good time.
To me, safety's keeping out of an accident.
But I just want him safe.
You know when you slam on the brakes and the car all of a sudden has a mind of its own? With these GM anti-lock brakes, you can stop on a dime and steer while you're doing it.
You know, he's only 16.
We think quality starts with safety. That's why we have more models with anti-lock brakes than anybody else in the world.
GM safety. It's not one thing, it's everything.
You're watching CBS Sports coverage of the 1991 All-Star Game.
We've played 2 innings, and they announced Jimmy Key as the new pitcher for the American League. Listen. He's having a wonderful season with a record of 10-4.
Yeah, the Blue Jays, pardon me, Jack, the Blue Jays with 4 of the top 10 leaders in the American League, leading in earned run average. Jimmy Key, one of them. Also Brad Wells, Dave Steve, and Tom Candiotti. Blue Jays really with a tough pitching staff.
That's why they're 5.5 ahead of Boston. Here's Tony Gwynn. And he lines it right at center field. Well, we told you about Cal Ripken. Here is his mother.
He threw hard for an 8 or 9-year-old, and he hit one batter, and he hit 2 batters, and he hit 3 batters, and the coach calls times, and he goes out and he says a few words to Cal, and he came over to me and he said, Cal looked up at me and said, they don't move out of the way very fast, do they?
So he used to be a pitcher, and what a shortstop and hitter he has become. Sandberg is up 1 out. Ball 1, ball 2. We have other family portraits to show you this evening. Adding to the spice and our adoration of the game. Ball, they call that a strike, 2 and 1.
I wonder how many games in a row Cal Ripken played as a little leaguer. He's played 1,491, second to Lou Gehrig. Remarkable.
And the count 2 and 2 to, or 3 and 1 to Ryne Sandberg.
Setting up inside. That's a lack of knowledge about Ryne Sandberg. He is a deadly inside hitter. Now Alomar back outside, but Key goes inside.
And we got a strike, 3 and 2. Alomar having difficulty hanging on.
Well, that's common in the All-Star game because your catcher catches so many different styles of pitchers that he's not familiar with.
Sandberg fly to right his first time. Keep pitching him inside, will you? Up against, and Sandberg will get 2 with 1 out. You can't pitch Sandberg there.
There are some guys, you say, you mix it up. You get to a point where you pitch him outside, inside. This guy is a dead inside hitter. He doesn't miss it too often, as he shows on that fastball inside. It was up. If you come inside on Ryne Sandberg, it better be way, way inside.
That's the first extra base hit by the National League in an All-Star game since '87.
Wow. They haven't homered in the last 6 years.
Really?
Right.
That one got by me. Here's Will Clark with a runner at second, 1 out, and strike 1. Will single to right his first time. 2 years ago, they gave Clark the Silver Spike Award, emblematic of the best collegiate player. They knew what they were doing, didn't they, Tim?
Down in Mississippi State, Rafael Palmeiro and that strong hitting Texas lineup now. Palmeiro signing with the Cubs, going down to Texas. Texas ahead in the American League West.
Fielder to the pitcher. Key, 2 out, runner at third. Will Clark was bested by Jimmy Key. He hates it. He hates it when he doesn't get a hit. Look at that puss.
Will the thrill.
And it's up to Bobby Bonilla, who drove home the first inning run, bouncing one off the ankle of Jack Morris, who pitched 2 innings, 1 run, 4 hits, struck out 1, walked none. This Toronto pitcher has had some arm miseries in the past, and we're happy to see that he's overcome those and doing well. 1-1.
It's Steve of the Blue Jays that's on the shelf now. And that's what prompted the trade for Tom Candiotti. Roger Clemens now in the pen. They've got to have in the pen. They keep coming at you, don't they?
That's a strange feeling for him to be warming up in the bullpen during a game.
And it's got to be even stranger for Jimmy Key. This is his first bullpen appearance since 1986. He'll take it, though. It's an all-star game, right?
Right. He has a runner at third, 2 out, behind to Bonilla. And a foul, 2 and 2. National League got a run in the first on hits by Gwynn, Clark, and Bonilla. Sandberg perched at third, 2 out. the Sky Dome after this message and a word from your local station.
In the past 2 years, one TV show has actually been credited with saving more than 50 lives. So if you think you can live without watching television for one night, make sure it isn't Tuesday.
The show is Rescue 911. The look is CBS.
This relationship could work, except for one problem.
Every guy I go out with ends up dead.
I just want to talk.
So talk.
Can you put the axe down?
Northern Exposure, Monday.
This is CBS.
Do you realize that I haven't had a drink in 3 months?
Do you miss it?
I'm taking it one day at a time. We are doing better, though, aren't we?
You know, I almost didn't get through it. We've had some good days lately.
Alcohol and drug addiction affect the whole family. Charter can help, but only if you call.
We've got a lot of catching up to do.
Hey, everybody. Backyard Bob here with a fantastic way to keep cool this summer. Crystal is offering these big old 32-ounce squeeze bottles full of Coke for only $1.89. You pass this one up, you ought to have your head examined. They come in 4 fabulous new colors, and refills are only 59 cents, all summer long. So, use your head and head to Crystal, because this could be a very long summer. Thank you.
You wouldn't dream of lying out in the sun all day without some protection. So why would you treat your car that way? Armor All Protectant for the rubber, plastic, and vinyl. No matter how hot it gets, Armor All, it's the original. Hey, we all like to look good, but when the heat is on, treat your car right with Armor All Protectant.
The 1991 Miss Mississippi pageant is one day closer to becoming reality. The story tonight following the ball game.
Way down here, the score is 1-0 National League. One of the hot teams in baseball, the Yankees.
Barfield's first pitch, line drive, base hit to right field. Sierra up with the ball. Here comes Sachs. Here comes the throw. He is safe.
Barfield's got a beat on it, and he's got it. Davis back. Here comes the throw, and holy cow, what a throw!
Holy cow, what a throw. You see those Yankees against the Angels Sunday at 2:30 Eastern Time with the pregame show. And on that pregame show, more of the Ted Williams, Joe DiMaggio interview. So catch it early. We have a new pitcher, Dennis Martinez, and the batter from the Blue Jays. So we don't know who they're rooting for, Martinez from Montreal or Roberto Alomar. He's batting in the number 9 spot. Bottom of the third, 1-0 National League. Martinez 10-5. Out of play.
One of 4 brother combinations to start an all-star game. Morton Walker Cooper did it for the Cardinals back in 42 and 3. Dixie and Harry Walker in 47. Joe and Dom DiMaggio in 49. So this is the first time in 42 years that brothers have started for the same team in an all-star game.
This fellow coming over from San Diego is quickly a big favorite with Toronto, hitting .283, 5 home runs. That's out of play. 1-2.
Strange thing, Jack, about that 47 season when Dixie and Harry Walker started for the National League. Dixie Walker playing for the Dodgers. Harry Walker was traded from the Cardinals to the Phillies in mid-season, and he was with the Phillies when he started the All-Star game and ended up leading the league in hitting that year.
One of our good friends down in Leeds, Alabama, Harry Walker. Don't do that to our hometown boy. 2-2, and that is not unlike Martinez.
Pitch inside for effect. You can see Santiago sitting inside. I wonder what Sandy Alomar thought about that knockdown pitch.
He probably laughed. Yeah. Got him. We got him.
That'll wake you up, Roberto.
Now the count 3-2 to the leadoff hitter in the American League third. Now to play. Well, his folks will have to tell him that he was at the All-Star game in '91. He's happy, though.
2 people for 1 ticket.
All-Star game Toronto. They say that this game has infused more than $30 million into the local economy.
Wow.
Anybody going to get that one? Maybe not. Yep, Calderon. This crowd was rooting so hard for a home run.
That got this Toronto crowd on their feet, didn't it? This ball low and away from Martinez. Alomar, I mean, just think, he was voted in, and it was his first time in the American League. Usually the guys, look at that, leaning forward. Look at Sandy. Usually a guy needs a little time in the league before he's voted in by the fans. But here Roberto Alomar traded the first year and voted in by the fans. First year in the American League. What a talent.
And so the batter now is Ricky Henderson. And a hit. That is the second of the evening by the American League. Now we'll get some base running action.
Now things are going to heat up a little bit.
Tim, you and I both know how clever Dennis Martinez is at keeping runners close.
This should be a great battle between Martinez and Henderson. Ricky with a second American League hit. Martinez with a terrific move to first base. Henderson with 966 stolen bases. All-time leader. He'll probably end up, if he stays healthy, with about 1,500. That's his goal.
The way Martinez can hold runners, the way Henderson can run, the way Boggs can bat, this is going to take 5 minutes. He took a pitch to give Henderson a chance to run. Strike one.
This will be about like the last 40 seconds of an NBA game right here.
One on, one out, and Henderson has stolen 966. There's his manager. He's on the move. There he goes. Uh-oh. What a play, and oh, safe as Clark dropped the ball. He would have been out. So the American League has 2 on, and that might be an error, or they might give him a hit.
Yeah, Sandberg made such a sparkling play on that ball, throwing off balance. He had nothing on the throw, but it did, I agree with you, it looked like John McSherry, the first base umpire, had that right hand cupped, ready to punch him out. Henderson stopping on the great play by Sandberg, and now the one hopper over there. Had Clark held on, they'd probably get the call. You could see that right hand being cupped up by John McSherry, but Clark drops the ball.
And they rule it a base hit for Boggs. So he's been on base twice. The reason I groaned when he was running is that Boggs hit the ball and Henderson would have stolen the base. And the batter, Ripken. Foul tip. National League manager wants to hang on to the 1-0 lead. This is his first time managing an all-star team. And there's La Russa. He wants a hit from Ripken.
Speaking of first times, I wonder how many times Cal Ripken Jr. has faced his former teammate. The answer, none. First time.
Talking about Dennis Martinez. One ball, one strike. Ricky Henderson has thoughts about stealing third base. If he does so, he'll do it against a very good catcher, Benito Santiago.
Both Santiago and Alomar, very unusual. They throw from their knees as well as they do standing up.
It's amazing what they can do. 2 on, 1 out. Tied 2-1. Bottom of the third. 1-0 National League. 2 on, 1 out for the American. Sandberg working at keeping Henderson close at second base. In fact, he's out of position in so doing.
But the likelihood of Ripken going the other way, remote. That's why Sandberg's holding him close and not the shortstop, Ozzie Smith. Smith has to protect against the pull side, and Sandberg can hold Henderson close because not too many ground balls to the right side by Ripken.
He hammered that one, and Gwynn's on the run. On the run. Forget it. He tuned up yesterday in the home run hitting contest.
Did he ever? We mentioned 22 at-bats yesterday. 12 home runs, far and away the best in the home run hitting contest. And he duplicates that feat. 2 at-bats tonight. Has 18 during the season. And I mean a hanging curveball. And Ripken says, Benito, I'll handle this one.
Well, how about back-to-back, Cecil? Fielder fanned his first time. 3-1 American.
Big league hitters rarely let pitches like this pass. That ball about belt high, breaking right into that zone of Ripken, and he hammered it out of here.
3-1 American League. 1-2 to Fielder. 2-2. He was looking hopefully at the plate umpire. You're not going to call me out, are you? This is the most pleasant of people. Cecil Fielder. He spoiled that good pitch.
We mentioned Cal Ripken Jr. yesterday with 12 and 22 swings. Nothing to it, huh, Cal?
Easy.
12 home runs and 22 swings yesterday. That one hitting the facade in the upper deck.
And he has stung the National League here in the third. 3-2 to the big man. Tough inning for Dennis. First of all, the line drive by Alomar that was caught. Single by Henderson, single by Boggs, and a home run by Ripken. Up the middle, and there's Sandberg. He knows how to play on the AstroTurf, even though he plays on a grass field in Chicago. 2 out.
That is a design throw. He was throwing off balance on that ball hit by Boggs, but watch how Sandberg, realizing that all he has to do is get it on line with Fielder running. He throws the ball intentionally onto the rug, and Clark with a scoop. First one that I can remember doing that, shortstop Davey Concepcion with the Cincinnati Reds. Trajectory of the ball is lower, and the rug allows the true hop.
And with 2 on, Danny Tarnable is up. He fanned his first time. Tommy Glavine pitched 2 innings. No runs, 1 hit, struck out 3, walked 1. And Dennis Martinez started this inning fresh, and he's been roughed up. And that's the way the fans like it. Action. Balls and a strike. Hard hit to Sabo. Haven't another look at that home run. 3 runs, 3 hits, 3-1. American League on top.
Yo, Mars Blackman here. It's NBA Finals. See what makes Michael Jordan the best. Is it the shoes? It's gotta be the shoes. It's gotta be the shoes. The shoes. It's gotta be the shoes. The shoes. The shoes. It's gotta be the shoes. Shoes. The shoes. Gotta be. It's gotta be the shoes. The shoes. The shoes. The shoes. The shoes. The shoes.
It had to be the shoes.
Introducing the Bud Light IMSA Racing Team. Catch it this season.
Let's go. All revved up and ready to go.
How do we get the truck back?
Throw it in reverse.
They were on their way to the top, but a few old men were spoiling all their fun. It was time for some new blood. Christian Slater, Patrick Dempsey, Richard Grieco, Mobsters, Rated R, starts July 26th.
When you have a lot of horses under your hood, shouldn't you have Michelin high-performance tires under your car?
There's a rush in the wind, there's a road on the rise, and you feel like you're ready to fly.
You hear the crack of the thunder. Oh, you gotta go. And you know you're ready for the ride of your life.
Pontiac Express, don't settle for less.
That's the ride of your life on the Pontiac Express.
We've been excited.
This game summary is sponsored by Budweiser.
Bobby Bonilla put the National League on top, but Cal Ripken did something about that with a 3-run homer. They've taken Jack Morris to the hospital for x-rays of his foot. And this is when he was struck by the batted ball off Bonilla's bat, which drove in the run. He continued to pitch, but now he's on the way to the hospital. Now into the 4th inning. Andre Dawson, who grounded into a double play in the 1st, is up, and he'll face Roger Clemens. Ball 1. Hello. Clemens is 11-5 with a 2.22 ERA. You don't shake this fellow up. Joe Carter, whose name you see there, is in left field. And Andre Dawson is the batter. We're in the 4th. Play. Let's go and join Jim Cott at this moment. Jim?
All right, thanks, Jack. National League starter Tom Glavine, 3 strikeouts, a hit. Was the confrontation with Boggs all you thought it would be?
Well, I didn't live up to my end of the bargain. I think he got up there and I tried to relax a little bit too much and didn't throw anything near the plate, unfortunately. But I made it through and everything's all right.
It's fun to play baseball in Atlanta again, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. We're having a lot of fun down there playing. I know the fans are having a lot of fun. We just want to keep winning and keep things going and hopefully stay in the pennant race as long as we can.
Got a great young pitching staff behind you. More guys down there.
Yeah, we do. We've got a few more guys in the minor leagues that are pressing us up there in the big leagues for some jobs. So we're going to have to make us pitch a little bit harder, and hopefully they can come up and help us out, and it'll be a welcome addition.
Great job, Tom. Thanks for the visit. Back to Jack and Tim.
Okay, Jim Cott. Glavine pitched 2 innings, no runs, 1 hit, struck out 3, walked 1. Count has gone to 3-2 on Dawson. Speaking of the Braves, they resume Thursday night at home against St. Louis. Dawson corks it to center. How far did you hit that one, Andre? Look out wherever you are. Wow, what a home run. It's 3-2. That ball went more than 450 feet, I would guess, Tim.
Well, all you have to do is watch the reaction of Ken Griffey Jr. I tell you, Roger the Rocket Clemens was aptly named after that pitch. What a rocket.
You think that would have been out of Wrigley Field?
Probably.
Ivan Calderon is up. Strike one to him.
Remember, Clemens had come inside with the fastballs, and now he goes away. And Dawson knew it, and so did Ken Griffey Jr. 2 steps back. 2 steps, we're going to have a ball. Isn't that the song? Not this time.
And there's one by Calderon, but it's playable in center field by Griffey for the first out of the inning.
We mentioned the reaction of Ken Griffey Jr. on the ball hit by Dawson. Look, 1-2. 2 steps, no ball this time.
That's reminiscent of the Bo Jackson home run in Anaheim in '89.
Right, against Rick Russell.
That makes it a 1-run game, 3-2 American League. Sabo. Ball on strike. The delay call by Joe Brinkman. Strike one.
The last Cubs player to hit an All-Star game home run was 1964 when Billy Williams hammered one out. Shea Stadium.
Sabo went around, and that's strike 2. First National League All-Star home run in a long time. 7 games. And it was a beaut.
You could chop that one up and have a couple of 2 or 3 home runs out of that thing. Ooh.
One and 2 to Sabo, 1 out.
Howard Johnson of the New York Mets. We mentioned Shea Stadium. Well, Hojo leading the National League in a ton of offensive categories. And his wife is here, his wife Kim, and she is with child and due any moment, really. The baby was initially due the latter part of July. It's going to come prematurely, and she wanted to come see the Sky Dome. That's why she's here. She got an okay from the doctor because she wanted to come to Toronto to see Sky Dome. See, Hojo's saying, yep, that's right.
He can't hear you, though. Sabo hits one to left, and Joe Carter just into the game. That's his second out. Guess who Pat O'Brien is with?
Oh, with Kim Johnson. And why are you here anyway?
I'm here to watch Howard play.
Kim, it's not really any minute, is it? But you are eminence, right?
Yeah, it's not any minute, but I'm up here, and I know some people probably think, why is she up here? Because she's 9 months pregnant. But in baseball, we're away from our families so much that I just didn't want to be away from him if I did go into labor, and he's playing here and I'm at home. So I thought I'd take the chance and come up here, and we made it a matter of prayer, and I know the Lord's watching over us, and we're going to make it through this.
Well, let me ask you something. Do you have a plan if for any reason you go into labor here?
Yeah, I have a doctor. Actually, I found out he was a Mets pitcher a long time ago. So yeah, so I've got a doctor in a hospital, and I have my prenatal records with me, and we're all right. I feel fine about it.
Good luck.
Everybody else nervous around me, though.
I'm afraid to sit by you.
Yeah.
What do you think of the Sky Dome?
It's great. Oh, it's great. Yeah, it's a really nice stadium. I'm so thankful that I am here.
We'll help you out if you need help.
The food's great, too.
Great, too. Up here eating munchies with Kim. Back to you guys.
And that doctor's name is Ron Taylor. He used to pitch for the Mets and for the Cardinals.
And the team physician for the Toronto Blue Jays, and still throws batting practice for the Blue Jays.
He's an orthopedic surgeon.
But he likes to throw batting practice. What can I tell you?
Benito Santiago drills one to center for Ken Griffey Jr. and the inning is over. 1 run for Dawson. 3-2 American League. Bottom of the 4th.
Whether I'm racing 200 miles an hour or driving 55, I don't accept compromises. You shouldn't either. The car should be responsive yet fuel efficient, roomy yet sleek, not to mention affordable. Well, surprisingly, one car does all that and more. The new Cutlass Supreme.
So take a look at any new Cutlass Supreme and see for yourself.
Here's one car that does it all and does it right.
New generation of old.
Coca-Cola sponsors Upper Deck hologram baseball cards at Denny's.
Everyone wants these cards that turn into real players.
What?
You said with a Grand Slam and a Coca-Cola Classic, we'd get this hologram card that makes players come to life.
I said it makes players look like they've come to life.
Right. That hologram looks just like Wally Joyner.
It is Wally Joyner.
The card works. Let's get more at Lenny's.
Denny's.
Denny's.
Have a Grand Slam and a Coca-Cola Classic and get an Upper Deck hologram baseball card, only at Denny's.
Okay, I'm going to say a word, and you say the first thing that comes in your mind. Ready?
Okay, shoot.
Husband.
Wife.
South.
Football.
Sophisticated.
Comedy.
Small town.
Big laughs.
Sex.
Bigger laughs.
Bigger laughs.
The show is Evening Shade. The look is CBS.
In the tropics, he's the only private eye.
Trust me.
He's Nick Slaughter, a man full of surprises.
There's Nicky.
Keeping on top of the island's foul play.
I just wanted you for your body.
And a watchful eye out, even when things are looking up. Sweating bullets after the flash. Friday.
Stephen King takes you on this summer's most shocking journey. Something happened to him. When a man discovers there's something more frightening than growing old.
You don't look the way you did 2 weeks ago. You look the way you did 2 years ago.
Growing young.
I could disappear without a trace.
Stephen King's Golden Years next Tuesday.
We're catching a break in this one here in Toronto. 3-2, the American League leading. A couple of home runs. We've had some action. Henderson and Griffey coming up. And that's Felix Jose playing right field. And there's Dawson. He's out of the game. He did enough, I would say. Good boy, Andre. We're rooting for all these players to all have a good night. Dave Henderson. And a breaking ball strike from Dennis Martinez. He struck out his first time while Pat O'Brien was talking to the president. 1 ball, 1 strike. Good pitch downstairs, 1-2. Anderson, Griffey, and Alomar. Well, this fella carried the Oakland A's for a long time this year, Tim.
He carried a lot of ball clubs. The Boston Red Sox back in 1986, last half of the season.
He waited, but popped it up into short center, and it's going to be caught by Tony Gwynn. First out, 4th inning. Well, here's the way the scoring has gone. Bobby Bonilla drove home the first run, bounced it off the leg of Jack Morris. Ripken hit a long 3-run homer, made it 3-1, and Dawson changed the score. And out. They've had 10 hits already. Ken Griffey Jr. flied out his first time. Martinez kept it away from him.
Hey, you mentioned Dave Henderson. It's so nice to see him finally getting some notoriety. Great postseason player. Be 33 years old in 9 days, his first All-Star game.
Hard hit and no chance for Sandberg.
What I was leading up to then, you may be wondering who the oldest All-Star non-pitcher has been as you're looking at the Seattle Mariners second-year player, Ken Griffey Jr. He was the first Seattle player to be selected as a starter last year, his second straight start. And the oldest player, Satchel Paige, 47. Pete Rose was 44. Carl Yastrzemski, 43. And Carlton Fisk, 43. But the oldest first-time player was Babe Ruth, 1933. He was 38 years old, and the reason was there were no All-Star games before then.
Ozzie will get the force out with Sandberg for the second out of the inning. 6-4 is the way it went. Here's the president of the National League, Bill White. Bill, you're behind by a run. And another greeting for Roberto Alomar. Hit the ball hard but out into left field his first time. Runner at first, 2 gone. Second inning of work for Dennis Martinez. President of the American League is Dr. Bobby Brown. And he leads by a run, 3-2, 4th inning. Alomar, the switch hitter, up there with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Griffey single with 1 out. He's at first, 2 out. Out of play. Let's go down to Jim Cott again. James?
Well, Jack, all-star games, as you mentioned, not without injuries. And Jack Morris with me right now. How's the foot?
It hurts.
Are you going to get it x-rayed?
Yeah, they're going to take me over. It's a little tender in the side of the foot there, and we'll see what happened.
You had a smile on your face after it hit you. We didn't think it was serious.
I had to fool Tony.
Yeah. Well, the Minnesota fans will be eager to find out if it's all right. Let's go back to Jack and Tim.
And we're rooting for Jack Morris, and of course you Twins fans are crossing your fingers. And another jam job and another foul ball. 1-2 to Alomar.
How about that? The reason he smiled was he wanted to fool Tony La Russa, the manager.
And stay in the game.
And stay in the ball game. I guess he fooled him. He won another inning and a third.
And he did pretty well, 2 innings. He did give up 4 hits, but only 1 run. Two balls, 2 strikes. And the brothers are at it. Sandy at first, Roberto at the plate, and at Sandberg, he had the flinch, might have gotten in the lights. The inning is over. 3-2 American.
My grandfather loves the unknown. I want a sure thing. I drive a new kind of Oldsmobile, the all-new Bravada, perfect for this jungle because it's got Smart Track, a new anti-lock braking and all-wheel drive system that automatically sends power to the wheel that needs it. So I'm ready for the unexpected, whether I'm traveling across the river and into the trees,
This is the new generation.
Or just visiting your old man in the sea.
Bravada, engineered for the unexpected.
When you've got a tough case of athlete's foot, the itching, the cracking, the burning, you want a medicine that acts tough. Tough-Actin Tenactin. Clinically proven Tenactin cures even the tough cases of athlete's foot fungus. Get Tough-Actin Tenactin.
Where do you want to be in 5 years?
I had an old Studebaker truck and $300 when I started this company. In a few years, my sons will be ready to take over, and then I'd like to... I never told anybody this. I want to live in Paris and go to cooking school. Hey, that's what I want to do. Will I have the money to do it?
You can get there from here with Shearson Lehman Brothers.
CBS Sports presents the 62nd All-Star Game from Toronto, brought to you by Oldsmobile, the new generation of Olds. Shearson Lehman Brothers, you can get there from here. And by the people at Nike who encourage you to just do it.
3-2 American League after 4. Ozzie Smith will lead it off, and his mother remembers his young baseball days.
He would always wait for me to come home from work. And sometimes I wouldn't get a chance to wash his uniform. So I had to rush home, wash his uniform, press it, and take it over to the park to him, because we were living right across the street from the park. And he'd be waiting on that uniform.
Oh, that's nice.
And the Smith family raised a real gentleman. Strike one. We have a White Sox battery. Jack McDowell is on the mound with a 10-4 record. And his catcher is Carlton Fisk. And the pitch inside, 1-1. Ozzie lined out to short his first time. Two balls and a strike. He hasn't lost much at shortstop. The arm not as strong as he used to be, but he is compensated with knowledge of how to play the position. He's got those little Popeye muscles, and he's hitting over 300. And he hits it foul, 2-2. I saw him a few years ago in spring training, Tim, and he was just killing himself. I said, what are you doing? He said, I'm going to play for a long time, and I better get ready now.
Some guys wait until it's too late, not Ozzie.
He's leading off here in the 5th. And ball 3. I hate to see this game move along to the middle innings. It's so much fun, really. I wish we could play here all night long. Waiting on deck, Tony Gwynn, who's already had a hit. And Ozzie draws a walk. There's the tying run.
See that inside pitch to Ozzie Smith, and you think of the Johnny La Russa and the Carlton Fisk problems. Carlton Fisk was the catcher when Terry Steinbach, the catcher of the Oakland Athletics, was, I mean, eerily, scarily hit by Bobby Thigpen, the reliever. And he and La Russa had words. We talk about how comfortable it is for everybody to be here. Well, there can be some awkward moments also. Here you are playing for a manager when just 3 weeks ago you've had words with him. Jack McDowell, on the other hand, the pitcher, booed here earlier when the players were introduced, because back on May 19th he hit the Toronto outfielder Mark Whitten.
Tony Gwynn hits it foul and out of play. 1 strike.
Whitten went out to the mound. A fight ensued, and both Whitten and McDowell kicked out of the game, and he was booed tonight. So there you have a battery with a little controversy, and I would imagine between Pudge and McDowell, there's some awkward moments in that clubhouse.
But La Russa is rooting for McDowell here as he faces Tony Gwynn. Leadoff man is on. And a bouncer might be 2. Got 1. Yep. Nice play by Boggs to get that one started. And Alomar can make the double play.
Oh, baby. I'm telling you. Boggs on his knees, and watch Alomar. There's several ways you can protect yourself at second base. And watch Alomar use the bag right there. See, the bag's between him and the sliding Ozzie Smith. He made the quick pivot and helped Ozzie up. Pretty good athletic ability right there. Also, nice play by Wade Boggs on the front end.
And he helped McDowell out. There are 2 gone, and Sandberg bats with the bases empty. That's in at the knees.
There's that pivot. Once again, you see Alomar getting down, making Ozzie Smith get down. That's why you throw, not overhanded, but sidearm.
Sandberg drills one into right center field, and it is caught by Henderson. Dave, that is. Now we play 4 1/2. The American League leads by 1.
1, 2, 3, 4.
This is ridiculous. I'm an athlete, not an actor. Let me out of this thing.
I got rehab to do.
Oh. Give me those shoes. Oh. Excuse me.
Nice shoes.
You watch too much TV, kid. Hey! Where's that music coming from? You know I don't have time for this. But I do. Hit it. Just now.
He got me into trouble more times than I could count. But what are friends for? Sometimes it was a joke that he played me for a fool. But what are friends for? Well, I remember once he stole my girl. But that's okay, I stole his too. By that man in the middle of dinner, the best comes shining through. By that man in the middle.
These men have been selected to write a page in military history. They are the best the Navy and Air Force have to offer. Charlie Sheen.
Seems no matter what I do, I end up hurting someone.
Lloyd Bridges. Call them the best of the best.
You're the best of the best.
Call them Hot Shots, the mother of all movies. This film is not yet rated. Starts Wednesday, July 31st at theaters everywhere.
You favor the use of instant replay as an officiating tool in sports? You can register your vote by calling this AT&T MultiQuest 900 service number, 1-900-436-9000. Each call will cost 95 cents. You must be 18 years or older to vote. You'll have the chance to vote on 4 different sports.
The Cal Ripken home run has the American League on top. 3-2, bottom of the 5th, and a new pitcher for the Nationals. It's Frank Viola of the Mets talking with Benito. We have a new shortstop. It's Barry Larkin. And a new second baseman having a terrific year for the Dodgers, Juan Samuel. And here's a big ovation for Joe Carter, who's going to lead it off his first at bat tonight. The 5th. Missed outside. Frank 10 and 5. And he's the 3rd pitcher of the night for the National League. He held up, and that's ball 2. Swing. Carter is hitting .302.
That was a changeup from Frank Viola at circle change, taught to him by Johnny Padres, the pitching coach of the Phillies, now in the minor leagues with Frank when Frank was with Minnesota.
And 3-1 to the leadoff man. Challenging Frank, see what happens here. He caught the corner. Carter didn't think so, and gets the crowd on the neck of the umpire.
That's one of those times when you can't really quibble about that strike because you want to hit anyway.
That's right. You don't want to walk. You don't want to walk, Joe.
No.
Ball into short right. That's trouble for Felix Jose, and it is a foul ball. Foul ball. Joe Carter gets another crack at it. Take a look from up high, and you can umpire for yourself.
About a half a foot.
Greg Bonet, the umpire out there. By the way, these umpires are selected on merit. Once again, they changed the system, but now they are selected in that fashion. Carter with Cleveland, San Diego, now Toronto. Still 3-2 as he leads off in the 5th.
That was the big trade Joe Carter and Roberto Alomar coming from San Diego for Fred McGriff and Tony Fernandez. Both Fernandez and McGriff having good years, helping out San Diego. And again, I think Fred McGriff should have been an all-star this year.
Everybody's happy about that trade. Another foul by Joe.
The all-star roster, you may or may not know, 28 players. And when they had 8 teams in baseball before the 1961 season, it was a 25-man roster. So the American League has expanded by 6 teams since then and only added 3 players. The National League 4 teams and has added 3 players. And I think that's good enough reason to expand the rosters.
Carter strikes out on a low corner foul tip. So he's battling Viola. Here are some of the guys who did not make the team.
Yeah, Chuck Finley having a terrific year with California. What about a revived and rejuvenated Dave Winfield? The same with Chili Davis. Jose Canseco, of all people, 21 home runs. Brian Harper batting over 300. And we mentioned Fred McGriff.
And another foul. I might add to that list. There are others. Tom Pagnozzi, the St. Louis catcher, one of the big reasons for the St. Louis success this year. And to my mind, second only to Santiago, if he is second to Santiago as a catcher. We'll see what's going to come of this battle, Viola and Carter. The battle with a leadoff walk here in the 5th inning. We've all been asking all around here, where's Pat O'Brien? Where is Pat O'Brien? I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, Jack, to be honest with you, I'm about 15 stories above right field at the Hard Rock Cafe. There's no baseball memorabilia up here. It's all rock and roll. For example, Michael Jackson's hat and shoes. Great glove, a lot of hits. Sorry about that. Anyway, it's all rock and roll, but the attraction here is, of course, a beautiful view of the baseball field. And I was trying to think of a cute and funny way to end this, but I can't. I guess I'm between a place and a Hard Rock.
A place and a Hard Rock. And we just saw a brilliant play by Tony Gwynn, playing center field to take care of Wade Boggs.
Well, Tony Gwynn wasn't between a place and a Hard Rock. This ball, a fastball out over the plate, and Boggs hits it hard to the left of Tony Gwynn, and Gwynn makes a fine backhanded play. 1 out here in the 5th inning.
Boggs doesn't usually hit the ball out there, does he?
No, not against left-handers especially. That left field slot. Place in a Hard Rock.
That's O'Brien. I wonder where he's headed now. The batter is Ripken, star of the game so far, probably. Base hit, 3-run homer. And a strike.
A lot of bad hops up in that Hard Rock Cafe. Only ballpark in Major League Baseball with a cafe that is as well known as the Hard Rock Cafe.
Let's see what Cal Ripken does this time. Double play ball. Larkin, Samuel, and that takes care of 5. He dropped the ball. Clark. Hey, Will. What are you doing? No error. Fielder's choice. Or if you don't get a double play on that, you'll never get a double play.
Yeah, and you can't anticipate a double play, but if you could, this would be the ball on which you would anticipate it. Maybe where there's a will, there's not a way. And usually Will sucks that ball up.
It looked like Samuel threw a little sidearm. The ball must have sailed.
Yep. Samuel trying to make the runner, Joe Carter, get down. He did, but that ball did sail on Will Clark. That was an errant throw. That was not Clark's fault.
Yeah, the camera had a better angle than we did. Cecil Fielder is up. 2 up. Ball 1. Ripken playing it very close to first base. He can steal a base, but he's going to let Fielder swing the bat. This is a bonus at bat for the American League. And they're already ahead, 3-2, 5th inning. He smashed it into left center, and Gwynn makes another good play, and the inning is over. 3-2 after 5. American will return to the Sky Dome after this message and a word from your local station.
Everybody
Everybody remembers great comedy teams like Laurel and Hardy or Abbott and Costello. But who remembers Morton and Hayes? No one.
Premieres July 24th.
If he had not gone to Vietnam, I do not think that he would have shot the guy.
Gunned down in cold blood. Was it manslaughter or madness? Verdict, then. From the producers of Rescue 911, extraordinary mysteries solved by ordinary people.
I was completely shocked.
Gregory Harrison hosts True Detectives, following Verdict, Friday.
This is CBS.
Look what's new at McDonald's.
What is it, Dad?
The beauty of it and what a spectacle. And I tell you, it's breathtaking to see this place. There's so much information going on at one time. It's just a beautiful place.
Another thing that's going on are the St. Louis Cardinals. What's with your ball club this year? It's not just the kids, it's you veterans.
Well, you know, we're all pitching in. Everybody is working very hard. You know, everybody's doing what they're capable of doing, and things have gone well to this point.
They sure have. Keep doing it, Oz.
Those two former teammates at St. Louis, and Bobby Bonilla gets his second hit of the night.
Bobby Bonilla in the first inning hit one off the foot of Jack Morris, and this was another base hit up the middle. I mentioned last year of his contract, Bobby Bonilla, and controversy as to whether Pittsburgh can maintain his salary. They've offered him $16 million for 4 years, and he turned it down. Right. Frank Viola, $13 million from the Mets for 3 years, turned down.
Well, here is the free swinging Felix Jose with the first two on in the sixth inning for the National League. Jack McDowell is in trouble. Felix hits one that's going to advance the runners, one of them at least, force out, no other play. Let's go down to the National League dugout from a moment ago with Lou Piniella talking with Jim Leland and Art Howell.
In other words, if we go 1, 2, 3, you ready to go in? What do you think? You know what we could do? I'll tell you what we could do, though. If we want, is let Clark hit. Right? We can hit Murray here in the DH spot and put Clark at first base.
Well, we'll see what they do. One of the things they're going to do is send up Paul O'Neill to bat for Ivan Calderon, the Cincinnati hitter. First and third, one out, and even a fly ball would tie this game in the sixth inning. Oh, and Felix is saved. He got back. Well, that's the closest I've ever seen that play come.
Me too. I was thinking the same thing. Usually that play doesn't work at all, but Jack McDowell appearing to throw to third. Remember, you can fake to third when you're in the stretch. You can fake to second when you're in the stretch. However, you can't fake to first, so he fakes to third, wheels off the rubber, and throws back to first, and somehow Jose avoided the tag.
And he got the good call from John McSherry, not the automatic call. First and third, infielders back looking for two. And strike one to Paul O'Neill. O'Neill having another fine year for the Reds. He's backed up 0-2. The runner at third base is Will Clark. He started it with a walk. Down on the fielder's choice is Felix Jose. And there is one out. O'Neill has 15 home runs. Only got one swing left. 1-2. One of the things about these all-star pitchers, and most of them are capable of striking batters out. Very few finesse pitchers. First and third, one out. A critical spot for the National League here in the sixth. Waiting on deck is Hojo, soon to be a daddy. Howard Johnson of the Mets. 63 runs batted in. 2 and 2. When the new baby arrives in the Johnson family, it'll be the 3rd child. Val trying to keep that ball down, hopeful of getting the double play. And there's Hojo wanting to get up in an RBI situation. They're going, and a bouncing ball. The play at the plate. Out at the plate is Will Clark, and the American League still leads 3-2. The hard slide of Clark didn't bother Fisk at all.
That's the toughest play for a catcher to make. The receiver throw from the right side of the field and then turn around. You don't know where the runner is. But Fisk realized that he had some time, and he held on to the ball easily. You try to get the ball in your bare hand there, but Fisk didn't have time, so he had to make the tag with a glove hand, and the new catcher's mitts with the break-in are more conducive to making that slap tag.
And that's typical of Will Clark with that hard slide.
Oh, sure.
He'll do it forever. Now they're 2 on, 2 out for Hojo. And the American League still leads. National League needs a hit. Ball 1.
If you're the catcher and you receive a ball from the right side of the field, you don't know whether the runner is there, but I would imagine Fisk, knowing the speed of Clark and the ball getting to fielder rather quickly, he knew he had some time. A hard slide by Clark, but a scoring opportunity for the time being nullified by the National League.
2 on, 2 out. Johnson, ball and a half swing, 1-1.
Coming into this game, Jack, Howard Johnson was the only National League non-pitcher with an RBI in all-star competition. Nobody else had an RBI. Of course, that's changed with the Dawson home run and the single by Bobby Bonilla in the first.
1 ball, 1 strike. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hojo, a better hitter from the left side as he is batting now. Dowell gave up a walk and a single at the outset of the inning. They're still at 1st and 2nd, 2 out. And a high foul ball and a play for Barnes. 2 left for the Nationals. They've left 5. They still trail by 1.
It's stuck. You see? Yeah. Every channel. Light beer. Light beer.
Well, we're gonna have to drain it.
Grab anything that'll hold beer. Oh, and call some friends over.
Will you look at that? Yeah, I'm looking. Miller Lite made beer better. The great Pilsner taste keeps you ahead of it all. Everybody likes that. You don't say beer now, you say light. The beer that beers become. Miller Lite. It's it? And that's that.
Someone who prefers the view from your couch? Then never mind. The Toyota 4x4 for those other guys.
Yo, Morris Blackman here at the NBA Finals. See what makes Michael Jordan the best. Is it the shoes? It's gotta be the shoes. It's gotta be the shoes. The shoes. It's gotta be the shoes. The shoes. The shoes. It's gotta be the shoes. The shoes. The shoes. Gotta be. Gotta be the shoe. The shoe. The shoe. The shoe. The shoe. The shoe.
It had to be the shoes.
Power. Suspense. Drama. Baseball is many things, but in the end, baseball is nothing without you.
So we're asking you to plan ahead by choosing a designated driver who won't drink during the game. That way everybody has a good time and you get home safely. And that matters to us
because we can't do it without you.
The preceding message was furnished by Major League Baseball.
American League coming to bat in the 6th inning, leading 3-2, though they've been out hit 7-5. We have a new pitcher for the National League, and a fellow who is probably more thrilled than anybody to be on this all-star roster, Pete Harnisch of the Houston Astros. New first baseman from the Dodgers, Eddie Murray. Over at third base, Howard Johnson, who pinch hit and fouled out and left those men on base. Another unsuccessful pinch hitter was Paul O'Neill. He takes over in left field, and he'll get another at bat. Tim, you saw more than I the bubbly reaction about Pete Harnisch being here.
Well, you were in Washington yesterday. By the way, Harold Baines, the pinch hitter for Danny Tartable. But, you know, Harnisch has a record as a starter like a reliever to make an all-star team. He's 5-7. But think about how deceptive it is when you consider the fact that Harnisch has been involved in six, a half dozen, 1-0 games. He's 2-2-2 in 1-0 games.
Harold Baines breaks the bat and grounds out to Samuel. I guess he got jammed, huh?
I would say that's a big league jam job right there.
So Harold Baines goes down on one pitch, and Harnisch has some early success here in the 6th inning. Here's a strong hitter, Ruben Sierra of the Rangers, coming up to bat for Dave Henderson. Henderson 0 for 2. They have a good hitting lineup with the Rangers this year.
We talked about it earlier. Julio Franco, Sierra, Rafael Palmeiro, Steve Buechele having a fine year. Juan Gonzalez. They can put some thunder. If they can get people out, if Nolan Ryan can stay off the DL, they have as good a shot as anybody to win that American League West. They're presently in first place by percentage points over the Twins. But 2.5 games separates 5 teams in the American League West.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows. It'd be nice to have somebody different in the postseason. Followed by the batter, Sierra, 1-2. And waiting on deck, Ken Griffey, who's already had a hit in this game. Griffey Jr. Leadoff man has been retired. Here in the 6th. 1-2 the count. Half swing and a foul ball. Eddie Murray, there's a guy who plays the game easily. I mean, easily. He's terrific offensively and defensively.
He has put up some numbers.
Hall of Fame numbers.
9 home runs shy of the 400 mark. I'll tell you, the guy batting right now, Ruben Sierra, you talk about numbers. 2nd in the MVP voting 2 years ago to Robin Yount. And a lot of people thought he should have won the MVP that year, including Ruben Sierra. He's out to prove it again this year.
That breaking ball missed, 2-2. Number 21 in his ear.
Berto Clemente, he's been compared to number 21 with the Pirates for years, from Puerto Rico.
Let's get down to Jim Cott. James?
Here with Frank Viola, the Mets are starting to play better, and why?
Well, I think basically what it comes down to is our starting staff is finally doing the job we're capable of doing. And I think that builds everybody's confidence up. And you know, when you get the key hit in a situation like that, the starters take over, and then we have a Johnny Franklin in the bullpen. So actually, all cylinders are going now, and we're looking forward to the second half.
What do you have to do in the second half to catch Pittsburgh? Main thing.
Continue playing good, fundamental baseball. And that's playing the defense, getting the timely hitting, doing the little things necessary to win, and hopefully the starters stay healthy and do their job.
Been an all-star in a Twins uniform, a Mets uniform. You'll probably be in the game again next year, but what uniform will you be wearing?
We'll just have to wait till the end of the season, and we'll go from there, Kitty.
All right. How about Rod Carew, the honorary captain? You threw him his 3,000th hit. You remember that day?
Oh, yeah. I'm in the Hall of Fame for something. Yeah, it was a slider down and away, and he patented Rod Carew, popped it over the shortstop's head for a base hit, and I'll tell you what, I'm very honored to be able to say I gave up his 3,000th hit.
Don't blame you. Back to Jack and Tim.
2-2. And another foul from Ruben Sierra. This pitcher, Pete Harnish, born on Long Island, played baseball at Fordham University. Viola pitched 1 inning. Gave up a walk, but got away with it. And Harnish has a 2-2 count. And another foul. Out in the American League bullpen, Jeff Reardon is warming up. And for the National League, the Pittsburgh left-hander John Smiley. Lots of players have been in this contest. It's 3-2 American League, 6th inning. And Sierra hits another foul. And nothing doing for Benito.
We mentioned 2 years ago the numbers that Sierra put up, and this year no exception. Ruben Sierra still 25 years old. Think about the future he has ahead of him. 3rd in the American League in hitting. Top 5, all of them are here tonight.
There is 1 out, and Sierra continues this battle with Pete Harnish. 3-2. Popcorn. He's in shape climbing all those steps. That's a beautiful ballpark. This is a perfect ballpark. People in Toronto have been quite hospitable. Did he swing? Third base umpire said yes, and out he's gone. Jim Quick made the call. Sierra can't believe it. I think he swung. That's the 2nd out of the inning. All-star game or no, a half swing's a half swing.
Yep, I thought he went around too. Yeah, that's too far, and Jim Quick called it quickly. A good battle by Sierra to battle Harnish, fouling all those balls off, and Harnish goes out of the strike zone to nail Sierra.
He was very emphatic with it. Ruben's still unhappy. His only at bat, he struck out. And the batter is Ken Griffey Jr. What'd you tell me? His dad's out fishing?
Out fishing with his younger brother, who has recently signed with the Seattle Mariners.
There's 2 quick ones on Griffey.
Ken Griffey in the automobile accident in spring training. Injured, still on the disabled list, but still very much on the roster of the Seattle Mariners. First father and son players to ever play together.
Well, it's not going to be a perfect inning for Harnish. He lost the batter on an 0-2 count. That's the 6th hit for the American League, and it comes with 2 out. 2 hits for Griffey.
Junior didn't get all of it, but he got enough of it to push it through on the right side. Cal Ripken Jr. with 2 of the hits. Ken Griffey Jr. with 2 of the hits. So juniors have 4 of the 6 hits for the American League.
And look who's up. Isn't that great? Still playing so well.
43 years old.
Batting with 2 out. And ball 1. Tell us about that number, Tim. That's 72. That's unusual for a regular.
Rookie of the Year back in 1972, and his number with the Red Sox was 27. So when he signed with the White Sox, the Pale Hose, he decided to turn it around. His son Casey, born in the year 1972. He was a Rookie of the Year that year and thought he would turn his luck around. And as Steve Lyons had that great line earlier this year that going from the White Sox to the Red Sox, he said it's time to change socks. Every 5 years you got to change socks. So in Pudge's case, it was every 10 years you got to change socks from red to white.
1 ball, 1 strike. So that's the story of the number. Runner at first, 2 out. Ball 2.
Oldest All-Star to get a hit with no surprise there. Ted Williams. Stan Musial, 3 months younger. Stan Musial, the leader in home runs in All-Star history, with 6. Ted Williams tied with Fred Lynn. They both have 4, and Fred Lynn with the only All-Star Grand Slam homer off Atlee Hammaker in 1983.
So Fisk would break that record if he gets a hit. Runner going. And a foul, 2-2. From high above, the shot from the Fuji blimp, being piloted tonight by the senior captain and chief of operations, John McHugh. He's flown blimps all over the world, and he's up above the Toronto picture tonight. You folks get a chance, come to Toronto and see the Sky Dome. It's worth the trip. And a wonderful city to boot. A little on the expensive side, the ball players who play here tell me, but where isn't it? 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count to Fisk.
You can open the roof for $7. That's not high. The roof is, but the price isn't.
That ball might drop. It might drop. It does. Gwynn broke back. He is the oldest man to ever get a hit in an All-Star game. Carlton Fisk. Nice going, Pudge. Good for you.
Just moved to the top of the list.
Yes, sir. Give me a hand, folks.
That's great.
I'm applauding myself. That's terrific. Tony Gwynn helped him out a little bit by breaking back on the ball, but what the heck. First and third, 2 out. Against Harnish. Looked like it was going to be an easy inning, and now Roberto could burn him. American League already leading 3-2, 6th inning. Out of play. Griffey at third base. He singled his way on, and across the way, the older guy.
Pudge, 21 years older than Ken Griffey Jr.
That sounds strange. That sounds strange. Quite a tribute to his work habits. And Roberto takes it high, 1-1. This place would erupt if Alomar would get a hit. And LaRussa, the manager, would like a little more leeway. Bottom of the 6th, 3-2 Americans. 2 out, and a shot for Gwynn to corral. He'll take it. American leads 2. They've left 6, but they lead by 1 after 6.
We ask pasta lovers in Italian neighborhoods to try new microwave main meals from Chef Boyardee.
These are absolutely good. Absolutely. It's delicioso. That's right. Try a little more. The more you put them out, the better to taste.
Got tomato?
Got meat. Little onion in here. Very good.
Well, you put onion in it.
You have to put onion in it. What's the matter with you?
Very delicious. But my wife's comes first.
I'm surprised it's Chef Boyardee.
New main meals from Chef Boyardee. Simply Italian. Simply terrific.
Very close to Italian.
It's a rare species that thrives like no other. Easily distinguished by unique markings. Lean and powerful, adapting quickly to changing environments. It migrates to the snows in winter and has been spotted as far south as Baja. It prefers wide open spaces. Primary instinct, to care for its young. The Toyota 4Runner. No matter how distant the journey, it always returns home.
Want to play rock and roll tennis?
Oh.
That was weird.
We all like to keep our car looking new.
That's why so many people use Armor All Protectant. Armor All cleans and shines the rubber, plastic, and vinyl. And it protects all those surfaces, too. So Armor All makes your car look like new. And helps it last longer. And that makes you look pretty smart. Armor All, it keeps you looking good.
Now treat your whole car with the complete line of Armor All products.
Sunday, they're young and very restless. The up-and-coming Yankees take on ex-teammate Dave Winfield and the Angels. Baseball's biggest moments are on CBS.
Welcome back to Toronto, Ontario. A breathtaking view of the Sky Dome. American League leads 3-2 in the ball game. When we talked about the eating arrangements here, how about the sleeping arrangements? There are 70 rooms that face the ballpark. This one taken by the O-Pee-Chee Company. They are sort of the tops of Canada. I am in the upstairs bedroom. In fact, they even have a Jack Buck card. Jack, I'll bring this to you later. But the room is like any other room, except when they say room with a view, folks, they mean room with a view. For $1,000 a night, they get this kind of thing. The bed's a little small, but it's comfortable. And fellas, there's a great, as a matter of fact, when you get up from this bed, you say, what a great day for baseball as you look out for this. But fellas, there's a story about a couple who were very amorous on one of these beds, but I'll leave that for you to tell.
You leave it for me to tell? Back to Pat O'Brien. Well, we have some changes. Jeff Reardon is the new pitcher in the 5th of the night for the American League. His first opponent is Benito Santiago, and a bouncer to second. Alomar throws out his former teammate, and there's one gone. We have a new left fielder. Joe Carter was in the game earlier. Center fielder is a newcomer to this game, Kirby Puckett. How can you keep him off an all-star team? And we also have a new right fielder, Ruben Sierra, who pinch hit. We're in the 7th inning. It's getting late for the National League, and their batter is Barry Larkin, hitting for the first time. Tell you that Jack McDowell, 2 innings, no runs, 1 hit, no strikeouts, walked 2. But those men were left on. Larkin hits a foul, strike 2.
Barry Larkin leading the National League in slugging percentage. Only 5 shortstops have ever done that in National League history. He also recently had 3 home runs in 1 game. Only Ernie Banks and Freddie Patek, diminutive Freddie Patek, had 3 home runs at Fenway Park in Boston one night.
Hard hit to Ripken. That's the second out. Jim Cott take it away.
Will Clark, all-star games are fun. Most of all, just being here is more so than play. What's special about coming to this place?
Well, this is an excellent ballpark, and the fans are great. And so far, we've had a good time just being here for the last 2 days. And I tip my cap to the city of Toronto. They've done a great job welcoming the ball players, and the ball players are responding with some great baseball.
It has to be a disappointing season for the Giants so far. What can we look for in the second half for improvement?
Well, we're finally starting to get some people healthy, and Kevin Mitchell's back in the lineup, so you're going to see a lot more run production.
Well, congratulations. Back to Jack and Tim.
Thank you. And Will Clark, while he was in the game, had a base hit and a walk. And he gave way to Eddie Murray. This is Tony Gwynn. He is 1 for 3. And now another hit. Typical of him. He's 2 for 4. And a 2-out hit gives the National League a 7th inning chance.
Tony Gwynn with 2 hits to left field. He uses all of the park in which to hit. You can see that plate coverage. That ball was actually outside by about 3 inches. That was a great shot right there. And Gwynn, with that terrific plate coverage, is now out of there. And Brett Butler is going to be the pinch runner for Tony, who leaves the game 2 for 4.
So we have a definite base-stealing threat in Butler, who comes into the game here in the 7th inning. Will take over in center field. Butler has stolen 19 bases. Ho, 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 he's been thrown out 14 times. Not a very good percentage, and pitcher and catcher want to talk it over.
I think it's worth another shot just to see the plate coverage of Tony Gwynn. Look where the pitch is. Probably 5 inches outside, and Tony Gwynn just spanks it to left field. Wow. What a hitter.
Ted Williams was talking about not swinging at bad pitches. He said you swing at a pitch 2 inches outside, 2 inches inside, 2 inches high, 2 inches low, and you've expanded the strike zone by 30%. Next Sunday, Yankees and California will tangle. Pre-game at 2:30 Eastern Time, and you'll hear more of the conversation with Ted Williams and Joe DiMaggio. Tony La Russa comes out to talk with Reardon and his catcher. Reardon says, go ahead, let him steal. I'll get the next guy. 8 hits for the National League, 7 for the American. Now we're going to have a pitching change. We'll be back.
Where do you want to be in 20 years?
Well, my father worked for the same company for 39 years. He got 2 weeks vacation, but we never traveled far. He was saving to put 3 kids through college. At 65, he retired. At 67, he died. How can I invest so that after my kids graduate, I can enjoy the second half of my life?
You can get there from here with Shearson Lehman Brothers.
If you're looking into faucets, Peerless means plenty. America's leading do-it-yourself faucet. In hundreds of styles and finishes. All made with solid brass valve construction. And all warranty for as long as you own your home. The best made, best back do-it-yourself faucets in America. That's what Peerless means.
Some people think he's a Superman. But when a 44-year-old has to throw 75 fastballs, even Nolan Ryan's muscles can ache. So after the game, it's the medicine doctors recommend most for sprains and strains, Advil.
For me, it's a couple of Advil, and those muscle aches are long gone. And Advil's gentler on my stomach than aspirin.
Today, it isn't aspirin or Tylenol acetaminophen. It's Advil.
I feel ready to go another 9 innings.
Advil, tablets and caplets, advanced medicine for pain.
Donnie Allison, Cal Yarborough, and 20 other NASCAR legends take to the track for a race down memory lane. The Battle of the NASCAR Legends, Saturday.
Eye on America's prisons. They're coming out. Parolees who've served just a fraction of their sentences, and guess where they're going? The story on the CBS Evening News tomorrow.
The new pitcher is Rick Aguilera. Playing third base behind him is Wade Boggs. CBS visited with his dad a few days ago.
I can remember back when I was coaching in Little League, and he had an old owl's foot on a string that he wore around his neck, and it was his good luck charm. One day somebody sold his owl foot. Well, Wade, he went berserk. You know, no owl foot, no hips. For the next year, I hunted owls all over the state of Florida. I was trying to find an owl to shoot to get him another owl foot.
There's Wade Boggs. I wonder if he still wears an owl's foot around his neck.
Oh, very unusual for Wade Boggs to be superstitious, right? He goes out, he runs at 5:17 or takes ground balls at 5:17 every night. He runs at 7:17 every night on a 7:35 start, and he eats chicken before every game. Everybody knows about the superstitions of Wade Boggs.
What time does he eat?
I don't know. I guess 3:17.
Aguilera pitching to Samuel, who gets a 2-out hit to continue this National League threat in the 7th inning. First pitch from Aguilera, base hit past the owl foot.